I wonder how they're going to play it out. Because I think that if they play patient, they have a way better matchup.
Yeah.
But it is KT.
I think there's definitely a way for Hanwha to fight around some of the ultimate abilities on the side of KT, right? If you could, like, bait out an equalizer, bait out a culling, and then you go in, you're going to be in an awesome spot. But again, it's going to come down to execution, which is kind of what you were talking about, right? It's not going to be straight up like, oh, this team wins after X amount of minutes. So, could be a close one. I think that's like matching skins there with the Braum and the Ezreal.
Oh, very nice.
Got kind of the woodsy vibe.
I do like a woodsy vibe for skins. You know, like the Forest Ranger Ash. That's not the actual name. I forgot. Woad, maybe?
No? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like
not an Ash
giving you a weird look. I'm like, huh, I don't know. I'm thinking. Then I realized we're on broadcast and I actually have to say something about what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, you can take the moment to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure. That reminds me. Is
Are you
there
sure it's not Forest Ranger Ash? That sounds very right.
I don't think it is. I think it's
Maybe
Woad.
it's not.
Yeah. Interesting. Sure, we'll get back to this at some point when Ash is played and then don't go for Fade Dragon, which is objectively the wrong choice. That skin is awesome as...
Oh boy.
Yep, that's... Early E from Dove.
Yeah.
Works out well.
And Chovy, he kind of knew this was coming. He had to get in there towards the minion wave, otherwise he was going to miss a lot of XP and gold. So it's the trade-off as in goes Vista. Trying to take an early trade here against the Braum. He will get stunned up, and the Ezreal at this point not really looking to do too much.
Did go for Doran's Blade, so Vavkid has a little bit more power available, which I like. You can expect Vista to play aggressively there. Lane potential from the Kai'Sa with the Halo Blades is still quite good, provided that you can stay alive. But look at these summoners here from 5Kid and Zeus, right? Like, they've gone for the super defensive ones, no heal, just the cleanse so you can always get away, the exhaust available as well, so really going for the safety. As Chovy, he shouldn't get a minion lead in his lane. I don't know if he will because it's Chovy and somehow he just does things that shouldn't happen or won't happen in a lot of other situations. But basically until you get your Vamp Scepter and you're able to sustain a little bit better, maybe some steel caps as well, it's not a fun lane at all. It's a Lucian lane.
I think he's only 1 CS behind right now. I'm trying to count these.
He gets all of these, he will be ahead. So
I'm talking about like I should have clarified. One CS behind getting every CS.
Yeah. Of course, there we go. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, he's just the one. But I mean, it's pretty much perfect. And yeah, Dove, you can't really say the same about Dove. And now he's going to get stunned up. This is a little bit of an awkward spot. I think the auto cancel was a little bit early there from Chovy, but still, he will be able to back away.
And don't know if Dove wants to go for the cancel. No, both of them just going to back up immediately. If a greedy teleport comes out, there is a potential to punish here for Vista. Has made his way back to the lane. Oh, it's a 2v2.
Oh no. The stun is coming out. The immediate flash from Dove. As you can see, even with Blank there, he's like, nope, we are not messing with this. I do not want to get solo killed again. This time it would have been with the help of Leona, of course.
Yeah, we saw the Q from Leona go off there at the end, despite the flash coming in. So really nice timing there by Dove. Otherwise, he just dies. And the 2v2 is nice if the fight doesn't start with Dove getting all his life taken away because he's standing still because Leona locks him down. So good call there. Also gives some additional intel that Blank was on his top side. So as we can see immediately that the question mark pings go through, they do know that the Rumble is expected to be on that side of the map. Due to also having a lane in a nice position for himself. I don't know if he's slow pushing or if it's pushing towards him, because otherwise we might see Willa go and pay a visit up to that top lane. Does have his camps coming up though, so he's a bit greedy if he does want to go for that and doesn't look like there's going to be any action for now.
Zero difference in the jungle there for a bit. That was pretty cool to see. In terms of the gold, kind of just going ahead, farming out their camps. They each got one of the scuttle crabs, so of course going to be very, very even. As yeah, the top lane's been pretty, it's pretty quiet for now. Nobody really getting in there just yet. As that ward did come out from Chovy, and it looks like it was spotted when it did go down, so easy clear for Blank. As now the trades come out here on the top side, and Dudu, he ward hops away, and that will be enough to get him to safety.
Very costly miss on the Q there, especially because I think he's going for the Q max, which in this scenario means miss that skill, and now Doran's going to be like, oh, you can't trade. And Doran's not the kind of player to just let that slide, as we see there, especially on the Renekton. So nice punish coming through there. Not the end of the world. Lane is going to get pushed in, so that does provide a little bit of opportunity. Maybe they want to go and look for that Scuttle fight. Okay, we'll go for the teleport instead. So should not be as easy. Does mean teleport advantage though, so if KT now wants to make a cross-map play, maybe go in hard on a bot lane or dragon fight, then they will now have an advantage in doing so.
Yeah. You can see Jovi's getting pretty aggressive anyway in the mid lane, now with the flash down. Just hops over, gets an auto down. He missed a stun earlier, but really trying to extend the lead as much as possible. I think after a game like Game 1, it's not just like, oh, you know, Chovy he's going to have to 1v9 if they're going to make it work. It's definitely like a team issue, but there are games that we have seen in the past where Chovy was able to basically 1v9, right? And just carry the entire game by himself. Obviously, the Yone game against Genji, the Akali game as well.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of remembers those and knows the potential, so maybe Chovy's feeling that pressure as well to just get a win that way.
And he can. Just needs to be a little bit more patient than last time, where the kill that he got didn't actually put him in the territory of him being able to 1v9 fights, and then they kind of continued opting into fights, and then it didn't work out at all. Also, interesting to note, I thought that Dudu would have gone for the Q-Max, but is actually going for E-Max here. So that means that he is going back to the build that made the Lee Sin so oppressive initially, also the reason why it was nerfed. Now with the early kill gem pickup, should still be able to spam it out a lot more, which makes up for a little bit of the nerf's power, but means that his dueling potential I don't think as strong, but at the same time does have a lot more wave clear, which into Renekton is quite nice, as nothing's really happening, Valdez. It's yeah, we're going into the minute details here because there is not that much action to talk about.
Yeah, it's a bit different from game number 1.
Yeah, I was hoping for more, not less.
Yeah, it's just, you know, bottom side, the Braum is shutting stuff down. It's Ezreal as well, so he just hops away. They're playing very defensively. Still good in terms of the CS, by the way, as they're trying to set up a play here, but look at the response that comes in from KT. The 3 of them are in position, and Willer immediately gets burst down, and Chovy can't do anything. He can't save his 2 teammates because the response here was too perfect from KT, as the culling will come out and make Chovy's life even more difficult.
Yeah, just a beautiful collapse there. Really great counter gank from Hanwha Life. Also, really unfortunate. I'm not sure what happened. I thought Willow would still have the second activation of his Hallowed Mist, because that might have kept him alive through the Equalizer. But that 3v3 is not one you're ever going to win, unfortunately. Like, Braum, this early in the game of an Equalizer is just too strong, right? You saw how much damage was getting taken away there. Chovy sitting on only a Vamp Scepter, and we joke about Aurelia being full build once she only is a Vamp Scepter. But for her to win anything but a 1v1, she actually does need more. You know, in the 1v1, still kill Dove, no problem. But when it comes to fighting multiple people, that's not enough. And that is a very costly set of deaths because it, again, gets blank fed. And Dove with a lead, there's a reason the man is so high up in the POG standings.
Yeah, it's definitely a good start for him, especially after the way the laning phase is gone, where he had to flash on the teleport into the mid lane. He is down a pretty significant amount of CS, but he gets the kill and the assist, gets him back into the game there, into the lane, and the rest of his team is online as well early on. So we'll take another look at this.
Okay, so Willer uses it very early. And that's the reason why, like, later, I don't know if he'll live either way, but using it that early in the 3v3 scenario, of course, is going to mean that you'll barely have the resistance available, and then Zeus just basically tanks everything. And Chovy needs to get out immediately, because Chovy stays there, because you see him immediately Blade Surge out. Like, he's exhausted. He has, like, no items.
Yeah.
He just does nothing. You know, he can stand there and auto-attack, but just really good roam timing. Great read on the play from KT, and it starts to feel like, as Hanwha Life, like, you also got to imagine you're in these players' shoes. It's now starting, because almost everything that gets started up by them immediately gets thrown in their face. That happened like 3-4 times last game. It's happening again now, where you can explain some of the inactivity from Hanwha Life, I think, by if you're them and every time you try to make a play, like KT reads it and then counter-ganks and then wins and then gets further ahead, you're like...
I guess we don't get to be proactive.
Yeah.
It's like, well...
That's not good either.
Yeah. It definitely does not.
It's really rough.
Great. You can see even now Tovi's trying to take bigger trades against Dove, and it's not working out. And a lot of places, KT is winning. It wasn't just that one skirmish, but now leads are opening up on the top side and the bottom side. Now they're using this pressure on the top side. That is a big equalizer right onto Dudu, and the damage is too much, and the teleport was already used as Tovi's getting in there. That's a great Vanguard's edge, but it's 2v3. Can they get the damage down? Willer gets extremely low, and he will bite the dust, and I feel like Chovy will as well. He's going to flash away, but there are still minions here. The stun comes through, and the Aurelia is pretty ridiculous as the last Harpoon will finally be able to take him out.
So close, really well executed there, but the lead is already there. And again, with Dudu dying immediately, basically contributing nothing to the fight, that is effectively a 2v3. The fact that it's so close is nice, but it's a turret going over to KT. And Hanwha Life just collapsing here. Every play that they try to go for doesn't work. And if KT sets up a play and they try to counter, it also doesn't work. What do you do?
Yeah, definitely a good question. But it's kind of the snowball effect coming in. And even Chovy wasn't able to help them out there. Yeah, I mean, he still doesn't have that first item. He's just desperately trying to put out fires on the map. And he can't really do that right now as the Aurelia. And this isn't even like, oh, okay, we're going to drop the Rift Herald up on the top side, and, you know, the bottom side's going to get pushed in because they have the jungler down there. No, it's just a straight-up 3v3 after KT take the Rift Herald fight. And, well, there wasn't even a fight over that. They just took it. And then they were able to get the turret. There's no trade over to the side of Hanwha Life. They get nothing.
No. And it's just the lane dominance, right? And we credited the fact that they went for this lead pick to pick it away. But Doran then takes the Renekton and shows how dominant he really can be. And like I said, I think that Willer, outside of that needle, sir, that would have been really good if those needles went on an actual target, not someone who just Zhonya's. Very unfortunate there. As
okay, trying to turn it around now, and it is 2-on-1, but this is a Renekton with Dominus up. They don't have the damage, because it's, you know, it's a level 6 Leona, right? And the Lee Sin already behind, not able to break through the Gore Drinker Renekton, who's level 10. Yeah,
it's Dominus, it's a level up, it's played at steel caps, Lee doesn't even have an item finish, like, you're just never going to get through that. If Jovi's there, you'll be fine. If Willer's there, you'll also be fine, but not it. However, these I think are the type of players because they keep... Oh, deft. He knows. Okay.
Yeah, looks like...
He still walks up, though. I have teleport. Dudu can join.
They have the ward there in this tri-burst as well, so they know that Blank hasn't left.
It's a bait. Surely.
5 kids getting in there.
Oh, people are getting rotated.
Yeah, Willer here as well. KT doesn't have too much deep vision. They have that one on the red buff, though, so I think they even saw Willer. And that means that they're just going to rotate over here, try to take this down, but Willer is here, tries to get it, is not able to, but now the damage trying to get out onto Blank, and now all the TPs do come in. Deft on the backside nearly takes out 5kid, and Zeus is in the Zhonya's, but now, with Blank and Dove here, can you get away? Looks like the answer is no, and Chovy just says he doesn't want any part of it. Dove with a really nice angle there to pick up the double kill, and KT are just running away with this game.
Just nothing goes well. Nothing goes well, and again, Hanwha Life, they opt into a play. The idea is nice, but again, you just don't have the raw power to execute this. Deft diving on the 5kid there. If he gets the kill, might be able to work it out. If Chovy's a little bit earlier, might be able to work it out, but Dudu joins the fight, basically does nothing. And it's just, you keep digging yourself into a larger and larger hole here as Hanwha Life, and I understand the need to try and do something, because you don't look at this comp from Hanwha and go, we can fight our way back into this game by scaling. You know, it just doesn't work that way.
doesn't feel like it this time. And, you know, some of the angles were okay here for Hanwha, but then Dove and Blank were given space to just output damage and not be scared about dying. And once that happens with the lead that they have, it doesn't matter what the fight looks like. They're just going to blow you up.
Insane play there from Dove as well, over the wall. And maybe if Deft, you know, flashes for 5, Kid blows him up, takes away a little bit of the damage, and then Zeus, when he flashes over the wall, might get killed. But it's even that is not something that ever should happen. And Hanwha Life are trying to take a page out of the KT book and fight their way back into this game. They're going to need an absolute miracle of a fight. Chovy definitely needs to be there, is on his way.
Yeah, they're trying to make this happen. The Q goes down on a Blank. Dudu is going to just kick him away. And that's not the setup you're looking for with the Sun coming in. No combo available. And meanwhile, 5Kid is just getting turret damage. He's getting some farm down here. He's feeling pretty good about his situation as well.
He's just sitting there, farming minions, you know, sipping.
Fun game. Yep.
Sipping. It's summer. It's very hot. Maybe a chilled coconut drink. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Doesn't really need to do anything. Watches his top side demolish Hanwha Life over and over again.
2 games in a row. He's like, oh, this is pretty nice. I can get used to this.
I love being in the LCK. This is great. Is it always this fun?
Yeah. It's funny how some debuts go like this and some others just go horribly wrong, where it's like, oh boy, well, this just wasn't it. 5Kid, it's like, he's not messing anything up, but he's also just not having too much of an effect. So it's just like, well, I mean, you know, like, you don't really know what to say about him, you know?
It's better to be there and not be a liability, or not be there rather and not be a liability. And I mean, you see, like, he plays the fights well. Like, he stays alive, uses his summoners. Like, you don't really need to do more. Especially when you have an other AD carrier in your team that is monstrously fed. And now for Hanwha Life, I don't know. I don't know how you fight your way out of this one. Next Drake and the one after that presumably are going to go to KT without so much as a hitch. Everyone is so far behind on gold. And with the Lee Sin this far behind, especially into the KT comp, I don't even know what you do. You don't provide that much. You need to get a kick on Blank or Dove, and that's basically it. Because, like, are you going to ever be able to kick an Asriel? No, you shouldn't at least. Kicking Doran into your team is something that is probably reportable with how fed he currently is. And Blank's probably going to get a stopwatch real soon. Though he right now is looking, might also go for the Morellos, but I wouldn't mind the stopwatch second because I think then, as Duty, you just don't really provide anything. Same for Deft. Like, who do you blow up?
Definitely a good question. When you're this far behind this early on, your options quickly just disappear. And a lot of teams just fall into this mode of like, well, let's just farm up and see what happens. Hopefully they make a mistake. But sometimes that's not what you got to do. Sometimes you got to create the plays yourself. And see what route Hanwha Life decides to choose here.
And I think what we're seeing here is just that Hanwha Life's issues are not tied to a specific top or jungler. I don't think swapping them out, it doesn't really matter who you put in there. It's more about how the team moves around the map, how they decide upon which fights to take, how they want to fight, when they want to fight. Because it feels like right now they just kind of go for plays and then maybe this one will work out.
Okay, this is 3-on-1, but Doran is incredibly fed, and now it's 4-on-1 as he's surviving for a ridiculous amount of time, but no, he's not going to go down. His teammate does. Dove died, but Doran can't. He's like Godzilla up here on the top side. He's still alive, and finally, with all 5 members that get up there, they take down the Croc. And look at this, 5Kid is still farming the bottom lane.
Hey, you get 2 kills, you know, it's something for Hanwha Life. I don't even think in gold it's a good trade because they lost their bot side turret. Okay, 5Kid doesn't get another one, so it's probably worth it. You get some shutdowns, and you get a much needed morale boost because you finally take down Dove and Doran. State of the game, still abhorrent. It is 20 minutes and you are a solid 7k gold down. However, you know, we have this expression.
Okay. Yeah.
I get it. I don't think it was necessary, but he didn't know that.
He didn't know. And yeah, I mean, here's the dive. It's 4 people.
It's so well played by Doran as well. Like the fact that he gets the empowered Q off, and like while doing that flashes away just to stay alive.
Yeah.
Eventually, obviously, you die. Like with this amount of people, there's not that much that you can do. Does teleport also not working out very well. I think if you have a stopwatch or you're able to use your flash very early on in that, you might be fine. But they're already like it's 3 people on top of you, and you are still very squishy. So not the biggest fan of that one. If you can maybe not keep the lead from growing, then keep fighting. You know, maybe Chovy will get it done somehow. As did.
Hey, 5 kids pressing his buttons now. This is good to see. As they were proxying down here, I think they have the damage, but stopwatch, great item. We'll see if it keeps him alive. As, oh man, this is just ridiculous. They can't kill him. They need 3 more members in the bottom lane to kill the Renekton. And no less.
It's insane.
They already tried with 4. They just tried with 2. Nope, you need 5.
If you are not this far behind, like as Hanwha Life, this is what they should have done in game 1. You had infinite wave clear. Just try and make side lane plays. Like I think that what they're doing here is definitely correct. You know, if Chovy gets another kill there, if you can keep feeding and feeding and feeding into that Aurelia, maybe he can 1v9. I don't think it's very likely with how far behind they are, but like at least there's a possibility if the state of the game isn't as horrible as it would already is, right? Like now you lose your inner in the mid lane. You almost lose your inner in the top lane, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And we joke about 5K. He's got a bounty. He's at the right place at the right time.
No, he had
getting
a nice
objectives.
He had a nice little combo there onto left and totally zoned him away. Like, what is Kai'Sa to do unless her team is full-on engaging against the Ezreal? You're just going to get poked out under the turret, and then you lose a lot of wave clear. It's rough.
Yeah, Kai'Sa doesn't do a lot when her team is behind, because she doesn't really have range. Yeah. So you're relying on your team to dive in. And so is Leona, honestly. Just the entire comp from Hanwha Life doesn't do that well when they're this far behind. I mean, there's not a lot of comps to do, but at least they can wave clear. This comp, not so much.
Yeah. And now, you know, it's Infernal Soul. I don't believe we mentioned it before, but either way, this
all or nothing.
Is huge. I mean, Hanwha Life need to fight over this, but they're down 8,000 gold. As okay, Chovy's got a nice flank angle here. As the TP will come in. 5Kid gets his distance. Chovy is now with the rest of the team. Equalizer splits them up a bit as that one will go to Dove. As the damage comes out, Vista goes in, and everybody just gets swept under the rug immediately as it is chaos underneath the dragon, and that is the clean ace, a triple kill going the way of Dove. And KT, I think they've secured this one, Chronicler.
Really, Velda? Are you sure?
I think so.
I don't know. No. It already felt horrible for Hanwha Life fans, but this just solidifies it. An equalizer doesn't go anywhere, doesn't really matter. The fact that the Drake gets picked up, even without that, it would have been an abhorrent fight here. Chovy goes in, immediately gets hit by an incredible amount of damage, and the value of this Braum pick is just insane. Like every time anyone on Hanwha Life tries to go for a play, they just lose. and KT is so far ahead that, like we pointed out earlier, they can play this like a poke comp, but they're clearly not. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, from ahead, you basically can do whatever you want with this one, and a lot of win more on the side of Hanwha Life is just never going to have their chance to shine. This goal difference graph, you know, maybe you could see there in the beginning of the game, they were ahead about 100 gold. Other than that, it's all KT.
It was right in front of us all along. 5Kid's moves make so much more. He's 007.
Oh my god.
I know. We should have known.
Okay, okay, third time's the charm?
Maybe?
I mean, they did kill him the first time. But, no, he's just going to flash.
Oh, no.
He's not even going to tempt fate, because he knows that this time, it's like the finale. All the good guys come together as one. And he's got the whole team together as this teleport is just doomed. Doomed, you could say, I suppose, as there is going to be the rest of the damage. Look at Doran, he's just standing in front of everybody. Like, what are you going to do? And yeah, he's got a GA. So
No!
good job. Oh, 5Kid went down. He's no longer 007, I guess. No longer very secret.
5Kid.
Yeah.
Why?
He was so innocent. He didn't take much blood throughout the entire game.
I got a kill as well, so I guess it's an eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all that happened to him. This game is it's well and truly over, guys. I don't really know what else to say. They have the Baron, but they're gonna wait. They're gonna regroup here, buy some items, and go for the final push a little bit later.
Why not?
These equalizers have not been great.
No, no, they haven't been. Doesn't matter.
From both of our Rumbles today.
No.
But that's okay.
What do I tell you guys? Renekton is 1v4ing.
Look at
and turret diving. It
Oh.
doesn't. Yeah, I know. It's so sad.
Even Def was trying to like get the snipe there at the end, just, like, just in case.
Twice in a row. Hanwha Life go. Actually, no. I disagree with myself. I think that in that first game, the draft was fine. I think in the second game you take a big risk with the draft, but it doesn't work out at all. And now you can't play the game anymore. In game number 1, you had the tools to stall, you had the Ziggs, you had really nice side lane pressure, side lanes that actually got ahead. But in this one, nothing to do. Exhaust is available again. As long as Zeus is there and KT stay grouped, there's no playmaking potential available for anyone on Hanwha Life. And this is all without taking into account the 14k gold lead. It was 12k, it's 14.
Yeah. Duran just hops the wall. He's like, hello. Hello there. And Vista is going to die to the poke. Take a look at this poke comp in action, Chronicler.
You were right.
There it is.
We see the poke.
It only took 16,000 gold
to really come online.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's all you need. 16,000. And yeah, we're just gonna waltz into the mid lane. They don't have Baron. They don't need it. Okay. Again, Hanwha Life's comp really only works if you're actually getting in there, or if one person of KT isolates themselves and it's not Renekton. That's the only way they can do anything, so KT can take all the liberties they want.
And as Hanwha, this is a really painful one to lose. It's not just how you lose, like losing 2-0 to a team that was on a, admittedly against two great teams, but on a pretty abhorrent losing streak.
There's nothing to say about this. Continue,
No, thank you for pointing that out. I agree. And then losing a match that's so important for you to continue to have a run at playoffs in this fashion as well. It's just, I think technically like there's still a way to make it, but the more of these type of games you lose, especially against your direct competitor, right? Like KT are now going to have a 5-8 score. You're going to be in 4-8, which means that even to like get ahead of them, you're going to have to win more, and then your head-to-head against them isn't going to be great. It's just, it's a painful one. I think a lot of us were somewhere and deep in our hearts still believe that maybe Chovy could make it to Worlds. But this,
well,
not looking good.
It definitely becomes pretty, I'm not going to say impossible, but it's very difficult. The one bonus I'll say is that they have Dom1 and Genji behind them, but again, those were 2 losses here in round 2. So yes, you don't have to play them for more of your potential wins later on. But generally, in this kind of setup we have with the top 6 teams making playoffs, you have to go at least 8 and 10. Yeah. Right? So
it's rough.
They're only 2 losses away. And it's definitely rough. We'll see if they can do anything here on the push. As Chovy, this is it. The poke takes him out, and that's it. It's just enough damage that comes out from their plain old abilities. They don't even have to attack them, as this is just going to be gruesome. Everybody's going to go down. The Crocodile will live again. He will get away with it again, unfortunately, for all the Croc haters out there. And that's going to do it for this game. KT are going to sweep them here 2-0 very decisively in a couple of big games, as you can't not feel good about that as a KT